Hi kids. Good morning. Okay, this class we are going to talk about China. This country is one of the most important in all over the world. China is a country that actually is known as a country that operate two types of government. Before it was considered as a communist country, because the state and not the market allocates the resources of the economy. But after a man called Deng Xiaoping took China into capitalism, that means that he wanted to liberate the economy, opening its market, offering cheap labor force and a lot of incentives to foreign investors.
Teacher, but that's possible?
That is possible, George, but you need to know that China is a very controlled country and that managed an unipolar system, where just one power center dominates, and the extent of that control is restrained. The China's structure of power is centripetal force.
What does that mean, teacher?
That means that it has ideologies or trends that bring the world closer together. For example, China is getting involved with other countries by globalization. It standards economic and cultural practices around the world, liberating markets and letting companies to expand around whole wide world.
Teacher, and what are the ideologies that they have?
Oh, that is a good question, Kevin. What religion do you think China practices?
Catholicism?
No, the countries that practice the Catholicism are the ones that were conquered by the Spanish Empire, and China is not part of them. China practices the Buddhism, and their leader is Siddhartha Gautama. This religion is divided in two branches, Theravada, the way of the elders, and Mahayana, the great vehicle. Theravada has been dominant in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, Burma, and Laos, and Mahayana has had its greatest impact in many countries including China, such as Japan, Taiwan, Tibet, Nepal, Mongolia, Korea, and Vietnam.
Wow, I thought that China had the same religion that we have.
No, Kevin, that is no true. Now you know a new thing of China, but there are a lot of things that we need to know about China. As same as other countries, China have different conflicts with the citizens. One of the most important and really sad thing is the policy of one child.
Why is this policy really sad, Mr. Girafales? What is it?
This policy means that all Chinese couples have the opportunity to have only one child, because the government is trying to lower the number of its population and this rule controls the census of birth. Unfortunately, couples that have more than one child have to pay a high tax, and in case they do not pay it because of their economy, the government forces women to abort. Also, China has a wrong ideology about women. They discriminate them. So if a woman is pregnant with a girl, the government forced her to abort. This is very sad because its shape to apply to abortion is very inhuman.
Oh God, that's terrible, Mr. Girafales. But in some moment they will stay just with men. What would they do? How they will be able to reproduce?
That is a big problem, because in that moment the Chineses will begin to steal girls from other countries to sell in China, so Chinese men would satisfy their needs. Also, the government is promoting terrorism in its population in general, and with so many threats, obligations, abortions and certain living conditions have made its people fear of them.
And does this problem has a solution?
Well, not at all. There is an intergovernmental organization, the UN, which means the United Nations. This is not related to any government but has a global influence. This organization is responsible for maintaining the peace and enforce the rights of human beings, but unfortunately it cannot act as authority in any country. All they can do is to advise the country to do the right things, but this does not mean they have to do it. This is what is happening with China, but unfortunately China is not willing to change their form of government.
Why does China ignore them? It's because China has more power?
Well, it's not that it has more power, but China has the tendency to see themselves and their country as the center of the political and the cultural world. That means that they have a Sinocentric system. This is an aspect of political culture that affects somehow its foreign policy. Whoa! Time is over. For homework you need to do a summary of what we saw today. See you on Wednesday, kids.